let's go ahead and get started. Chris Daly may also be coming on with an intro at some point, but in lieu of that, this is on behalf of Ambassador Solutions, who is a Sitecore partner in the Indiana demographic geography, and as many of you know, they offer a range of services related to both application development, programming, hardware, software, general consulting. It's really a wide range of pretty advanced services that they bring to bear. So in that mindset, we at Sitecore are a partner with Ambassador in offering a CMS platform to their clients that they would develop on as a Sitecore partner. So that's just kind of a thumbnail, 10,000-foot view. So I've been with Sitecore for about a year. My name is Evan Naku. I cover the Midwest, which obviously includes Indiana and most of the surrounding states. So I have a good mindset on both what needs to drive value here in the Midwest as well as more generally. And today we're going to be covering some content that is very familiar to many of us at Sitecore. This is some content that we've seen and know that a lot of clients have found resonance with. So please feel free to issue questions via the online chat window as we're going forward. We can answer them as they come in. Fairly flexible here, so feel free to be interactive with those questions, and I will try and address them as we're going. All right, let me just fan this out here. All right. There we go. There's a little better. All right, so Sitecore. We obviously are a global organization. We're based in Copenhagen, Denmark. We have developed a .NET portal, intranet, website solution. And the way that fits into these kind of website best practices that we're talking about today is that the underlying foundation of a good website supports meta tagging and good archiving of content, supports easy content creation. Content really is king still today. So at the end of the day, this backbone, this content management system, is what provides this kind of robust foundation. Again, to really come back to it, it's what you need to develop on top of in order for the components and pieces of that site to be manageable, to be distributable throughout your organization, to tie it to business processes and workflows. And that all comes in at that base layer and then helps to grow a site that stays compliant with a lot of those best practices. Sitecore, obviously, this slide touches on some points here, but we've been Microsoft Partner of the Year twice. We have a large client network around the world. We know that our platform is going to be viable in almost any enterprise, small, medium business type environment out there. So very robust system, really kind of tried over the course of time. Many of our customers here in the North American area, just touching on a couple of them, they span up, down, different verticals, different types of organizations. But at the end of the day, any website today, if you're thinking about different technologies, even outside of .NET, any good website today is going to have some best practice foundation elements that allow all of those 7 habits to really come into play in the context of your site. So let's kind of move on to this content here. I certainly want to be mindful of our time this afternoon. I appreciate everyone for making some time. So basically, if you had a resource that really could grow membership at your organization, grow revenue, loyalty for members, decrease your support costs, all these things we already own. We're referring to our website here, right? This is something that can do all of these things if the website is functioning correctly. We're sitting on this resource that really allows us as marketers to take advantage of this kind of a presence in our organization, to leverage this technology. How many people are more on the kind of marketing side of the organization, more on the IT side? Usually we have about 50-50, somewhere in there. But for obviously each of those two constituencies, there's some different interests that come to bear. marketing people in the room are probably thinking, sure, I don't have the IT staff to really make that happen. IT hates every time I want to make an update to the site. They have to be involved. It's resource heavy. Maybe in a perfect world, my site could really be that resource, but that's not really my world, right? And then the IT people are thinking, I have this entire infrastructure to maintain outside of all these web goals. I need to help marketing with constant site edits, and I'm barely able to support just my resource constraints on hardware and software maintenance. I mean, is there really an area where I can afford to spend resources and have a good, robust platform for these content creation initiatives to take place? So this is a duality that we see in a lot of organizations. So let's imagine, resources aren't an issue. Excuse me. So let's imagine resources aren't an issue, and we have our, all the time each day that we want to focus and just see how we want to work with these sites to improve experiences. And this is really where Sitecore comes in, right? So it's this value gap. One more area I want to put into context is that, best practices on public-facing sites are only an example. These practices could be deployed for intranets, extranets, portals, microsites, landing pages. These types of initiatives are really applicable for either your main corporate or organizational sites or any number of other web initiatives that you might be attempting to grow. And that, again, kind of fits into this innate architecture of a CMS. All right. So most websites are really, untapped resources insofar as we can make use of them. A lot of us out there, where do we fall short of really completing that potential that they can leverage to us? How can we help them to improve membership growth, deliver more services, more tangible, measurable? This is one of the big initiatives in having a website, is our ability to tie data back to it, to have analytics, to make accurate reports. We really want to monetize efforts, and again, the website can be very effective at doing this. Presenting brochureware is a really common mistake out there. People take their advertising pamphlets and they turn a website into that pamphlet, and they think that that's going to really engage clients and make that connection to convert them into that interest level of your product that you need. That's really a practice that leaves, money on the table. As we look through managing websites today and building relationships, you can see many parallels with Stephen Covey's recommendations about being a highly effective person. And we really see how those tie in a very tangible way as we're going to start getting into here. I'm not suggesting that we really have anything new here, just ways to implement these practices and reach, hopefully, what our corporate goals are on these websites. All right. How long does it take to make changes to your website? So this is just a quick poll. Normally we like to think in these kind of quantifiable terms, and if it's days or weeks, which in many organizations these changes are monthly or less. I know I've seen a lot of sites that are totally static. They haven't changed in years. So there's a great range of where these kind of sites are in the context of the development path that they should be on. So people out there, not sure how many have read 7 Habits to Highly Effective People. Pretty wide read population that I've actually encountered. So I've talked through these kind of presentation notes before, and it's stunning how many people at some point have come across this book. So we can basically apply the same rules to websites today. I think, for anybody who has read it, these will become, obviously immediately clear, but even if not, they're pretty tangible and easy to pick up. And again, the website is really this kind of mechanism. It's a point that we can leverage the technology into whatever our marketing messages are and our marketing goals are, and hopefully make that reality. So habit 1. All right. Your members are in charge. How many of your site analytics are, web trends or Omniture? How many are, homegrown systems that you're using? We use both Google Analytics and NetStats at Sitecore, our own analytics system, which is built into Sitecore. So we're using a lot of different things to analyze this data and change site behavior to better achieve whatever the results are of our site. Right? That's really the name of the game. We need to analyze that data, frequently make changes to reflect what we perceive are the sought-after aspects of that content, reflect those changes back into the website to make it an easier conversion experience, a more linear conversion experience, more natural, whatever that adjective that describes our client's behavior on the site that we want to engage. That's really how we make these changes. Our members are in charge, essentially. So listen and respond to your members' needs. Optimize for what those customers want to do. Constantly be willing to make changes. If you're getting some kind of feedback, either internally or externally, analyze that feedback. Be willing to make those changes. And again, analytics only really tell a portion of that story. It is about asking internal users and external users, what is that behavior point like? How is that interaction really working? Engage focus groups, surveys, other aspects of your communities to find out, are they liking this interaction? So as I was mentioning, site analytics is just one way to listen to your visitor needs. There's lots more. Exit surveys, focus groups, lots of experiential things that you can engage today. Social media is great at this. We just did a survey recently to find our customer base, to find out what their overall experience on our Sitecore site was in making their decision to inevitably buy Sitecore. And that helped us to really tweak out how to put content in relevant areas, how to lead them down paths that they thought were valuable as they were searching for this eventual product. So, we were able to really get some live information back from clients who actually converted and bought our product and get that right into the site in a readily available way. Customer is always right. You need to be adaptable. You need to use tools that enable your organization to be flexible. And this, again, is where a partner like Ambassador can help create a framework on a platform like Sitecore that you can manage and support and change frequently to be reactive. You can even build in A/B and multivariant testing so the site is changing according to rules that you're predetermining. Lots of great forward-thinking strategies that you can bring to bear. And again, to focus on the benefits of this, you'll have a lot more loyalty in your membership base. They're more engaged in your site, and you can lower support costs as you give information in the right places at the right time, really fueling that process. All right, let's jump to the next slide here. All right, so this is a quick example slide, and again, this is how we are able to kind of show the ability to create a dashboard-like impression. This allows your users to go out there and grab different pieces of content and move them around, and they use analytics on the back end to make decisions about what content are the most readily likely to be valuable for you and present those in a meaningful way. So this site is all dynamically driven, both content you can either access and move around, or that dynamically responds to who you are coming into the site and really presents this reactive map. It's constantly adjusting itself to be more reflective of these profiles it's developing.